Welcome to this week's episode of Analyzing Chazal. This week we'll be analyzing Pirush commentary of the Baal HaTurim on this week's Parshas Chayei Sarah. First, the pasuk in Perek Chav Gimel pasuk Beis. The pasuk says as follows: Vayavo Avraham lispod l'Sarah v'lifkosa. And Avram came to eulogize Sarah and to cry for her. The Baal HaTurim says, Kaf kitana shelo bacha ela ma'at shahaisa kimo goremes misasa shemasra din v'alkein nensha hitchila v'ma'abed atzmo ledas ein maspidin oso. The reason the word v'livkosa was written with a small letter kaf was that Avram only cried a small amount for Sarah, since her death was somewhat caused by her own actions, as she had given judgment on Abraham, and therefore she was punished first, and someone that committed suicide you cannot eulogize. The explanation of the Baal HaTurim. The Baal HaTurim was explaining that Avraham could not cry a regular crying, as Sarah was considered on a certain level as if she had committed suicide. The reason for this was that when Hagar had gotten pregnant and she was shaming Sarah, she said to Avraham, "Let Hashem be the judge between me and you." This language creates a certain level of prosecution in the heavenly spheres, which caused Sarah to be judged first, and that caused her death. This was viewed as if on some level she had committed suicide, as she caused her death, and therefore Avram had to cry less for her. The type of question we'll be using this week is the result does not seem to match the action. Meaning that when you look at a situation and Chazal tell us that an action caused a particular result and it does not seem to follow. Let's stop the video for a minute, and with the information you have, can you come up with the question? Okay, here's the question. When Sarah had said to Avram, Hashem should judge between me and you, she said it out of pain due to the suffering that Hagar was causing her. Sarah certainly did not have any thoughts or desire to cause herself an early death. So how is it possible that Chazal viewed her as having done an action which on some level is akin to suicide, which is done with forethought? The answer, as we always say, the answer has to come from within the question. The question was that Sarah had no intention of committing suicide, as she only made this statement out of the suffering she was going through. So how can this be akin to suicide, which is a conscious decision? The answer is that a person needs to be aware of what they say and what they do. Sarah, on her level, even though she was suffering, she should have been aware of the words she spoke. And since she wasn't, it was viewed to a certain extent to be negligent, which would be akin to suicide. The practical application. We need to realize how responsible the Torah holds every person for the words and actions he does, and how they might impact himself or others, even if the actions or words spoken are only done accidentally or when a person is going through a hard time. Have a wonderful Shabbos. We'll see you next week for Parshas Toldos.